If it is or if it ain't, it's gonna come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is February the 15th, 2024, and today the topic is Who's in Control? Happy Thursday. Yes, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope that you guys had a wonderful Wednesday and Valentine's Day. Mine was just fine. Yep, mine was good overall. I completed all the tasks that needed to be done. I knew it was going to be a long day, and that it was. Started off yesterday morning with a all staff meeting over there at Mountain West. So that was good, informative. Had a nice lunch with the staff and things of that nature. Um, and then I ended up going, and me and NJ had our mommy and me date at the salon. And so both him and I got our hair done. As those that see, if you guys are watching me live, you guys see your girl actually look like something this morning. My hair is all dutied up. I had another style in mind, but I guess with the length of my hair now, the style that I was looking at, the stylist was like, "Oh, they just are too big, because your hair is long, X, Y, and Z." So I just was like, "Yeah, just do something there. It don't matter." And so, I have a nice little updo pedal bun with a couple of, uh, strands hanging, things of that nature. But anywho, yep. So and then NJ got his twists. He got some twists. I talked to my husband briefly this morning, like, should we go ahead and lock his hair? He's like, nah. And I'm like, well, I mean, because anytime we say anything to NJ about his hair, he says, I want to look like Ryder, the little kid on Paw Patrol. And it's like, son, your hair is different than Ryder's. But anywho, after that, man, came on back to the church to do childcare. And, for Wednesday night, no matter miraculous, just regular childcare. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I was just thinking that, yeah, I had a couple of intense rounds of Uno with the kiddo yesterday. Um, but yeah, man, overall, it was a good day. I hope that you guys had a wonderful Valentine's Day as well. But yeah, man, let me go ahead and get into this conversation of who's in control. Because yes, like I said, it's Thursday and your girl need to be headed on now. But anywho, who's in control? So I mean, I ended up reading or continuing to read the book that Pastor Kiwan has challenged the next generation staff to read. And again, it's this book about I guess creating magic, X, Y, and Z. This former leader at for the Disney organization made this book. And again, reading it all is very informative and interesting. Um, and you know, without me knowing exactly what the Lord is doing, right? One thing I can say that I'm observing with this current season is that I'm taking in a lot of information regarding leadership. Um, from the all staff meetings, it's a lot of like, leadership info and things of that nature. And then obviously this book is, thinking about, it's making me think about strategies and all these things. Okay, I'm an entrepreneur. And so there might be even things that I can incorporate in what I'm reading and learning into my own business outside of the church. But I'm feeling like there might be more things to do within the church. I mean, I know they're talking about, making more campuses, things of that nature. So who knows what the Lord is going to do. Um, will I continue to be in an elementary coordinator position? They, bump me to something else, or, will I only be there for this season? And I don't know. I don't know what the Lord's going to do. Um, but with that being said, I mean, I think it's just very interesting, taking in all this leadership talk, because again, I mean, not that I don't consider myself to be a leader. Sure, I'm a leader of sorts. Again, I'm a leader of my own business. Obviously, I guess I'm a leader of GSL, so it's not like uh weird, I guess, but at the same time, it's a different, I just something feels different, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm getting so much leadership knowledge in this season, even once I first started at Mountain West or whatnot, as the elementary coordinator and things like that. Again, going to the all staff meetings, being part of the, planning and all those different type of things is, like, for me, I just overall just saw it as a blessing, and as, again, back in being in steady, weekly income, things of that nature. But I don't know, I guess I'm curious to see like what Lord's about to do with all of this. You know what I mean? But anyway, after I read those chapters and whatnot, this phrase, "who's in control," just came right into my heart and mind. And so I just went deeper about that, went to gotquestions.org, plugged it in at openbible.info, and just pretty much felt led to just share with you guys the verses that stood out to me. And so I don't know if there's someone else that needs to, ask yourself this question today: who is in control of you in your life? I know we like to think that we're in control, right? Um, and yeah, to a certain extent, we are, right? Because we make the choices and all those different type of things. We have free will, so in that regard, we are in control, right? But ultimately, you're either being controlled by the Lord, right, or you're being controlled by the enemy. Um, According to the Bible, according to my understanding, hey, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, whatever, but that's what it's looking like to me when I read the Bible and things like that. And so, I guess as we ask ourselves the question, who's in control, um, I guess we can go deeper about like how much do we trust the Lord, really? Because again, here I am sitting in the midst of this season of life where I'm getting all this leadership stuff, and yeah, I got some things on the horizon with my own business and things of that nature. But at the same time, the Lord has placed me in the ministry of Mountain West, things like that. And again, knowing that different things are coming down the horizon, it's just already something in me is already just saying, hey, maybe I need to get ready for more changes. Like I already had a lot of changes this year anyway, thus far. Again, working with another point of contact or leader or whatever the case may be, in the current kids ministry. But knowing that there are other campuses on the horizon and all these other things, who knows? You know what I'm saying? Um, who knows? Will my current position become obsolete? I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know what all the Lord's going to do, but I know that I'm taking in a lot of information right now, right? So anyway, one of the things that kind of crossed my mind as I was going deeper about who's in control is this concept of us thinking like um, that, for example, those that may be controlled by the enemy, thinking like, oh well, I'm getting blessed. The good things are happening to me. Why should I trust God and go His way or whatever the case may be when I'm in a good place. I'm happy with where I'm at, living in sin, whatever it is, and vice versa, right? Those that are believers, some come with the idea that well, when I come to Christ it was supposed to be all good, all great, peaches and cream, but it's not. I'm going through hard times, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and I'm looking over at the people that ain't believers and they thrive and they win and they getting awards, they doing this, they doing that, right? um for whatever reason, I felt like, as that was coming to my heart and mind this morning, I think, well, one, we need to get out of the concept of thinking that way, right? We need to get out of the concept of thinking that blessings or good things or whatever the case may be are indications of, you making the right decision, right? Or indications that that you're comfortable and fine with your sin or whatever the case may be is, an indication that ain't nothing wrong with what I'm doing. And vice versa, like coming to Christ and stuff like that. thinking that, oh, it's gonna be pieces of cream, but then getting, upset or offended or whatever that you're struggling or that there's some type of suffering happening. So with that being said, I mean, I guess it can be confusing to know who is in control, right? Because then, again, if you're living what you think is a blessed life, right? You got this, you got that, things are working out for you. But then, you're not following the will of God, not acknowledging him, all these different type of things, then it's like, again, who is in control? Um, so anywho, I'm gonna share with you guys these verses that stood out to me, and then you guys can, I guess, let the Lord lead you and guide you as he sees fit. So the first verse that stood out to me this morning was Romans 8:28. I know this is a very familiar verse. Everybody should know it by now by heart. But here it is. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Obviously, I believe that his purpose just stood out to me this morning. Um, and again, that goes to show us that, again, just because you may be, you're trying to live a righteous life, but you're going through hard times, trials and tribulations, suffering of any kind, and you're like, what's the point of living this righteous life? Not knowing that whatever it is could be building up you in particular, um, not just building up your courage, but like building up your character and things of that nature. Again, I don't know who I would be if I didn't go through all the things that I've been through in my life. Again, yeah, I can be thankful for the different things that I've been through in my life because they made me who I am. And it brought me here today to be able to do the things that I'm doing. Um, so yeah, it may not have always felt good, it may not have always, looked good or all any of those type of things, but am I grateful for them now? Yeah, because I can say that, hey man, I'm living a life of peace. I'm living a life, I'm married to a gentleman that, supports my endeavors, and we are here for each other and things of that nature. Like, my son, I mean, even though he can be annoyingly adorable, but he's an amazing kid, Um, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't sacrifice any of the things I currently have to go back and change and make my life better or sweeter or whatever, but I know everybody can't say that, right? Everybody, sometimes people look at their past and like, oh, that debacle, that challenging thing, you know, you know, got me to where I am, and I don't like this and I don't like that about my past, and I would go back and da 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 da. Um, I guess what I'm saying is everybody don't have that testimony, and so sometimes they think it's whatever. I'm living in sin and it's fine, like what and things like that. And it's like, well, you may feel good now, but like, what is it doing to you spiritually? Like, are you spiritually dying along the way? Like, you know, I think we know deep within, even when we're in situations like that, we know deep within that, man, this or that ain't right. Like, again, I could never really truly be comfortable just living in sin. Like, it was difficult. You know what I mean? Like, I was doing my best to be like, okay, I'm gonna make my own decisions, do my own thing, whatever, whatever, and then just feeling like, oh, just something's missing in my life. I'm not on track. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. All these different thoughts and things that would be tormenting. And so I mean, some people can live like that and be fine. I couldn't. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, and if this is resonating with you at all, then I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to, one, know that you're not alone, and two, know that, hey man, you can let the Lord be in control, and again, find yourself living in peace in the midst of storms and things of that nature. Here's another verse, y'all. John 6:29. It says, Jesus answered them, this is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he has sent. At the end of the day, this is ultimately the choice. This is the thing that we all must decide to do. And I guess by choosing this is going to help you to see like who is in control. If you choose to believe in Christ and walk accordingly and live accordingly, things in that nature, then you may be a child of God. But on the flip side, if you can ignore, all these things and just go through life and, quote unquote, make your own decisions and things like that, then that's truly showing you who your Father is. And I know that don't sound good. I know that might not feel good and things of that nature, because again, and it is hard to tell, right? Again, if you're living in a situation and you're like, I'm doing fine. I'm fine with making my own decisions. I don't need no Jesus. I don't need your God, miracle, whatever the case may be, right? Um, you can live that life, and you can be thinking you're fine. That's easy to do. And again, if you feel like you got blessings and things like that, or you feel like you got um I would call them blessings, but I guess I guess just good things in general. Things are good. I don't need, all that what you talking about. You doing too much, miracle, or whatever you may be feeling. Um, I mean, my humble opinion and my observation is that it comes back around. I feel like, didn't we talk about this the other day? I can't remember. But anyway, basically it's just, nothing. Again, how could I say, um like, there's Bible verses that pretty much say that, hey, what's done in the dark is going to come to the light. Like, at some point you're going to reap what you sow. All these things are going to come back around. Like, there's these are the quote unquote laws that we are living within. You may be sitting here thinking like, I don't need all this, I don't need all that. Y'all are doing too much, Christians or whatever the case may be. And then, you can get to the end of your life and then find out, or you can make the decision now, but hey, we all have that choice and free will. And hey, man, I say, as long as you got another day, you got another chance. So anywho, let me see. Matthew 28:18. And Jesus came and said to them, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. We think we don't need Christ, but he got all the power at the end of the day. Um, all the true power, right? I mean, yeah, we like to think that, again, Satan, Lucifer, the enemy, whatever you want to call him, right? We want to think that either he's greater or has equal amount of power and things of that nature, but that's not true, not according to the Bible. And so, in spite of how it looks, in the end, we know who the victor is according to the word of God. And so, again, who is in control of you in your life, and which side will you be on once the line is truly drawn? um Again, that's the decision that you can make. You got the free will to do so. Make that decision. But I hope you're encouraged and inspired to be on the Lord's side. But let me give you another verse. 1 John 4:4, it says, little children, you are from God and have overcome them, who for the who for he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. So again, no matter how the enemy looks like he's winning, you know what I mean? No matter how he may be, quote unquote, blessing his followers, right? The celebrities that we look up to, right? All the people that are making all the money, they're giving each other awards, they're doing this, they're doing that. And we don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. Of course, there's all kinds of rumors and things of that nature, human trafficking, all these type of things, right? They might be out here sacrificing and doing all kinds of rituals, but we looking up to these individuals like they so great, right? And the enemy has those individuals fooled and blinded, thinking that they are in control of many of the things. And I told y'all sometime last year, you know, um, what was it? The author of the Satanic Bible, what his last words were, and things of that nature. Like, those people can be blinded their entire life, right, by what the enemy is putting in their hearts and minds, and then get to the end of their life and you know, see who's really in control. According to this word right here, again, it says that he who is in you, and this is the children of God now. It's the ones that say, little children, you are from God. Okay. It says, he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. Now we know the quote unquote God, lowercase g, of this world is Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, right? And he may seem very powerful here in this present moment, but according to the word of God, he's not that powerful. And again, you have to decide whether you want him to control your life or the Lord. And that's the juice. That's the juice this morning. You guys can go deeper A couple of verses in the Go Deeper section. There's also an article at godquestions.org called How Can I Learn to Trust That God is in Control? Things of that nature. I hope that you are encouraged and inspired to ask yourself this question today. Let's not be fooled by the enemy and his devices, man, because yeah, that's the juice. Now the Bible verse of today is Ephesians 5:1-2. It says, "Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love as Christ also hath loved us and hath given himself for us as an offering and a sacrifice to God for a for a sweet smelling savor." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Y'all know tomorrow's Friday. So we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out. It's Brother Corey Rosinski joining us again for another conversation. So you guys can tune in tomorrow to see that at 7 p.m. Like I said, on the GSL YouTube, also at godsexandlove.com. And yeah, man, y'all have a great, great Thursday. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Get ready for an exhilarating experience like never before. Join New Bethel AME in Lithonia, Georgia for a cruise to worship, an event that blends the thrill of car enthusiasm with the spirit of worship. All are welcome to rev up your engines and hit the open road and come together in fellowship. So save the date, February 18th at New Bethel AME in Lithonia, Georgia, Cruise to Worship, where faith and engines unite.